Good morning, everyone. I'm Vicki, the Chair of Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, and I'm also a fellow shareholder. It's just after 11 a.m. and we have a quorum. I declare the Bank's 2024 Annual General Meeting open. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the many lands that we are meeting on. I recognise their continuing connection to land, water, culture and community, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'm on the traditional lands of the Dja Dja Wurrung and Toongarong peoples of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of this land and waterways, including the Loddon and Avoca rivers in the Bendigo region. We welcome and thank you for joining us today. I'd like to acknowledge two special guests who are with us today, our former Managing Director Marnie Baker and former Chairman Robert Johansson. A huge welcome to you both. Please place your mobile phones on silent. Photography, filming and audio recording are not permitted. And for those of you joining remotely who are deaf or hard of hearing, closed captions are provided. However, to activate these, you'll need to click on the CC button on your screen. A hearing loop is available for those attending here at the Capitol Theatre. For those of you vision impaired, I have straight, light-coloured hair and I'm wearing a navy suit with a cream shirt. In the background, I have a large image of the Bendigo and Adelaide Bank logo. The transcript of this AGM will be available on our investor website following the meeting. Out of respect for those who've joined us here and will be voting today, we have not released early voting details. However, we will provide voting details on the screen during the meeting for transparency. Let me introduce your board and fellow shareholders. Alongside me is Richard Fennell, our CEO and Managing Director. Our non-executive directors here with you today are Abby Cleland, Richard Deutsch, Victoria Weeks, Alistair Muir, Margaret Payne, Daryl Johnson and David Matthews. And to their left, we have our Company Secretary, Belinda Donaldson. I'd also like to acknowledge that in attendance today we have the Bank's executive members as well as the Bank's lead audit partner Claire Spall from EY. Also in attendance is Jim Compa-Georges from Link Market Services, who is acting as our returning officer for the meeting. Our General Manager Corporate and Public Affairs, Robert Musgrove, will be assisting today, and Robert will now outline the formalities for today's meeting. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Vicki, and good morning. Today's proceedings have been structured to provide all shareholders or their proxy holders with an opportunity to participate in the business of the meeting in an orderly fashion. The notice of meeting contains details of how questions may be submitted by shareholders. We welcome in-person questions from those attending, as well as questions through the online facility. When the time comes to ask your question, please be courteous, fair and respectful. Please keep your questions concise and about matters relevant to the business of the meeting. To allow as many shareholders as possible to participate, the Chair will accept up to 2 questions from each shareholder for each item of business. Questions you have relating to personal matters will not be put to the meeting. However, we do have representatives from across the Bank here today to assist you after the meeting. Thank you to shareholders who have submitted questions before the meeting. We have carefully considered all of your questions and we have either replied to you directly or your question will be covered during the meeting today. With respect to today's voting procedures, voting on each of the proposed resolutions will be conducted by poll. Registered holders of the Bank's ordinary shares at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday the 5th of November 2024 are eligible to participate in today's meeting and vote on all of the items of business to be considered at the meeting. Guests are not permitted to vote or ask questions. Eligible shareholders in attendance here at the Capitol today will have registered to vote at the registration desk on entry. If you have not voted already or appointed a proxy, you will have been issued with a yellow voting card. If you require any assistance with voting, please see our share registry representatives from Link Market Services at the registration desk. For those eligible shareholders attending and voting virtually, You can join the meeting, ask questions and submit your vote using the information displayed on screen now using any web browser on a computer, tablet or smartphone device. You will have the opportunity to submit questions using the Ask a Question tab. Please follow the prompts or refer to the virtual meeting online guide available on our website for instructions. Once the Chair moves to the items of business requiring formal resolution, and after all questions, we will display the proxy results for each resolution which were submitted ahead of the meeting, and we will read aloud the proxy results. You will be able to vote on all resolutions as soon as voting opens. As detailed in the notice of meeting, voting is restricted to the number of shares each shareholder holds and is subject to any applicable voting exclusion. Finally, in the unlikely event that technical issues beyond our control arise, the Chair will advise us on next steps. If for some reason we cannot proceed with the meeting, we will issue an ASX announcement with further information. Thanks, Vicki.
Thank you, Robert. I will now present my address and then I'll hand over to Richard. As I said, it's a pleasure to be with you in Bendigo this morning to chair the Bendigo and Adelaide Bank's 2024 Annual General Meeting. It's great to see some of our shareholders here in person at the Capitol, and I extend a very warm welcome to those of you joining us virtually. As your chair, I look forward to guiding and supporting the bank's capable and committed leadership team through the next phase of our growth. This will be my 7th annual general meeting as a director and my first as your chair. Coincidentally, it will be Richard's first AGM as your CEO and Managing Director, and we've been looking forward to the opportunity to address you today. Bendigo and Adelaide Bank has entered the new financial year in a strong position and is well placed to continue delivering on its vision to be Australia's bank of choice. Under the considered guidance of your board and the executive team, your bank has undergone significant and lasting change over the last 12 months. These changes, underpinned by our ambitious transformation program and the hard work of our people, have created strong foundations for the bank as we head into the final year of our current strategic plan. The foundations and the capabilities we've developed will allow us to leverage our strengths and deliver sustainable growth for the benefit of our people, our customers, our communities and you, our shareholders. The bank's capital levels, which act as buffers in challenging times, have never been stronger and are well in excess of the major banks on a standardised basis. As of June 30, our Common Equity Tier 1 ratio was 11.32%, which remains comfortably above regulatory requirements and APRA's definition of unquestionably strong. In the 2024 financial year, the bank delivered strong cash earnings just shy of the record established last year in 2023. I'm also pleased to share that our cost growth, excluding our investment and remediation, was contained below inflation levels over the reporting period. Given this, your board has been able to declare a fully franked dividend of 33 cents per share for the second half, taking the full year dividend to 63 cents per share, representing 3.3% increase on the previous year. Your board remains mindful of the need to strike a balance between providing shareholders with an appropriate return on their investment and the need to maintain a solid capital position during a period of economic uncertainty. Richard will talk further about the business shortly, but I'd now like to take the opportunity to outline just some of the important community dividends your bank has delivered throughout this past year. Our unique community bank model, which is the most tangible example of how we deliver on our purpose of feeding into the prosperity of our communities, continues to deliver lasting benefits for our community. It's returned over $366 million since inception, almost 25 years ago. And during the financial year 2024, our community bank partners returned $40.3 million in profit to the community, which funded over 8,000 individual projects. It's difficult to overstate the important role community banks play in their hometowns and their suburbs, where profits are reinvested to enable local infrastructure, improve educational outcomes and support vibrant arts projects, amongst other things. For example, community bank profits have funded the purchase of more than 500 defibrillators or AEDs around Australia, saving lives on golf courses, bowling greens, hockey clubs, walking trails, cafes and chemists. In conjunction with Community Bank partners, the bank also awarded 288 first-time tertiary students a record $1.4 million in financial year 2024 as part of our expanded scholarship program. This delivers on our commitment to address the employment and skills challenges faced by young people, particularly in regional and remote areas. In the last 20 years, this program has provided more than $13.3 million in funding to more than 1,000 students from all across Australia. The implementation of our ESG and sustainability business plan is progressing well. We completed the first year of our Climate and Nature Action Plan with the majority of our actions on track. Importantly, more than half of our people completed voluntary climate training, and this has helped us to raise awareness and provided our people with a much better understanding of climate and nature risks, so they can in turn help our customers better understand the implications of climate change. The process of renewal continues at a board level, and as you well know, a diverse and complementary mix of experiences, expertise is critical to the board's ability to provide strong governance and oversight. In April this year, the board appointed Abby Cleland as non-executive director, and more recently appointed Daryl Johnson as non-executive director effective 30 September 2024. We welcome Abby and Daryl, who bring with them a wide range of skills and experience, which they will elaborate on later. We've also announced the retirement of David Matthews as a non-executive director, effective from the conclusion of the meeting today, after more than 14 years on the board. David was the very first chair of the first community bank established in Rapanyup and Minyip 26 years ago. We thank David for his valuable contribution and wise counsel to the board and management team during his many years of service. As you may know, David Foster resigned from his role as non-executive director in September. Mr Foster was appointed to the board in September 2019, and the board acknowledges his contribution to the organisation and thanks him for his service. I'm confident that your board comprises a strong and diverse set of skills, experience and expertise. We do continue to review our board skills matrix, and we pursue education opportunities where relevant to ensure that our skills remain contemporary. In particular, in this last year, we've continued to build on our climate-related knowledge to enhance our ability to oversee climate-related risks and opportunities. We've also conducted board education in the areas of artificial intelligence and digital fluency. Change, of course, is a constant, and the process of renewal will continue through the bank to ensure that we deliver on its purpose well into the future. In July, we announced the appointment of Richard Fennell as CEO and Managing Director of your bank. Richard's appointment followed the board's careful and considered succession planning, which included a comprehensive external search process. The board is confident that Richard is well placed to lead our bank into its next phase of sustainable growth. His strong focus on our customers and people, combined with his strategic and financial expertise, will serve us well. I want you to know that the bank's strategic imperatives of reducing complexity, investing in capability and telling our story remain as relevant as ever, as we continue to sharpen our approach and realise new ways of growing the business sustainably. Our position as Australia's most trusted bank, our regional history and presence, and our reputation as a community-focused organisation has ensured your bank stands apart in an increasingly homogenous industry. The bank will continue leveraging these deep connections through all its channels, including digital, which will grow our market share and deliver a scale to be competitive. We will do this while upholding our commitment to being digital by design and human where it matters. We will also continue to exercise discipline and accountability in our careful use of shareholder capital, investing in opportunities that allow us to tap the strong demand for our products and services, and to accelerate our growth and create value for our customers, our communities, our people, and you, our shareholders. I want to take this opportunity to thank our former CEO and Managing Director, Marnie Baker, for her leadership and immense contribution over 35 years at this organisation. In her time as CEO, Marnie led your bank through a period of significant change with resolve, warmth and grace. Before I conclude my address on behalf of the board, I'd like to convey our thanks to you, our shareholders, for your continued support. We're fortunate to have such an engaged shareholder base, and we do not take your loyalty for granted. Finally, I'd like to thank all our people and partners across the country who've worked tirelessly throughout this year to directly support our more than 2.5 million customers. Our people work very hard to secure and maintain the high levels of trust and customer satisfaction for which the bank is known and recognised. Our customer-centric approach undoubtedly supports our financial results. In summary, Bendigo and Adelaide Bank is in a strong position. Your board and I are confident that we have the right team in place to execute on our strategy to unlock the full potential of Australia's better big bank. I look forward to having the opportunity to chat with many of you over light refreshments after the formalities today. Thank you. I'll now hand over to Richard.